Please, come here and let's lie down together, she beckoned, a request she hadn't made in 6 years. As I settled next to her, our eyes met, and she greeted me with a wide smile that enveloped me in a warmth I had sorely missed. In that moment, I was engulfed in happiness, harboring a wish to stay by her side indefinitely. This fleeting thought was quickly shadowed by the acknowledgement of our separation being my fault. It's essential I address this, beginning at the age of 30. Back then, I was a typical office worker, committed yet unnoticed, far from the fast track to advancement. Despite my ordinariness, fate introduced me to Martha during a work engagement. Martha, a standout in her company, soon became more than a colleague as we ventured out for meals, eventually leading to a deeper connection. Her dedication, competence, and ambition were unmistakable, her beauty magnified when focused on her work. Our marriage and subsequent parenthood didn't deter Martha. She excelled further, achieving a managerial promotion and intensifying her career involvement without compromising our family life. However, her success and dual excellence became a source of discomfort for me, igniting envy due to her superiority both professionally and domestically. My inability to share these insecurities led me to seek solace in alcohol, a choice that estranged me from expressing my vulnerabilities to Martha. This habit bewildered her, diminishing our communication and ultimately causing our separation. At 35, with our daughter Alma aged 5, we divorced, and Alma stayed with Martha. Following the divorce, Martha accepted a long-awaited overseas position, leaving with Alma. This departure left me alone and filled with regret for prioritizing alcohol over my family. In an attempt to atone, I quit drinking and dedicated myself to work, though without notable success. Martha's promise of reuniting me with Alma upon her return is what I cling to, wondering if she could ever look past my failings. Despite knowing I should let go of Martha, considering the damage I caused, the thought of reconnecting remains. Despite the divorce, my feelings for her lingered, unforgotten even 6 years later. Unexpectedly, a call from my daughter, Alma, broke the long silence. Having only provided child support, hearing her voice after such a long hiatus startled me. Now 10, Alma's voice sounded mature, a natural progression with time. Her request to meet someone piqued my curiosity, especially since she mentioned Martha wouldn't be present. Their return from abroad and Alma's mysterious invitation caught me off guard. Yet, the surprises were far from over. Arriving at the designated family restaurant, I was met with an unforeseen sight, an unfamiliar man in his 30s seated next to Alma, now visibly grown. It dawned on me that he was likely the person Alma wanted me to meet, presumably a new father figure or Martha's partner. The man's amiable demeanor and healthy tan contrasted with my unresolved feelings for Martha, leaving me at a loss for words and immobilized at the entrance. Alma's cheerful call and the man's acknowledging nod broke my stupor, yet I impulsively fled, ignoring Alma's distressed calls. My escape, a testament to my inability to face Martha's new life, was short-lived. Caught by Alma and the man, we retreated to a nearby park where Alma corrected my assumption. The man wasn't her new father but a co-worker of Martha's, married with 5 children. This revelation, especially his large family, was astonishing. Introducing himself as Ben, a farmer, he explained Martha's significant aid to their farming community through land and equipment lending. Alma's desire to see me had prompted Ben to accompany her. Overwhelmed by these revelations, I pondered how Martha, once a career-driven woman, transitioned into farming. Alma shared that Martha had left her job following a breakdown from her overseas role, returning to America 4 years prior. Ben, a friend of Martha's parents, had assisted in her move to the countryside, offering a glimpse into Martha's new life away from the corporate world. When she expressed a desire to leave the corporate and city life behind, he assisted by lending out land and farm equipment and even helped her find work on his farm to earn an income for Martha and Alma. He was a benefactor I had no knowledge of. I would have offered help if she had reached out, or perhaps she didn't want to depend on me even in times of difficulty. As these thoughts crossed my mind, Alma spoke with conviction, "The person I wanted you to meet is my mom." Mom was talking on the phone with Grandma, and I overheard her. She said she wants to apologize to Dad. Apologize to me? For what? I wondered. But she was unsure how to approach the subject. Recently, Mom's been down, possibly worried about our past. Will you meet her? The divorce was indeed my fault. Martha had no reason to apologize. Yet, this situation presented an opportunity to see Martha again. I assured Alma I would visit their home soon, and we scheduled a date to meet before parting ways. My heart raced with anticipation. The years post-divorce were marred with regret, exacerbated by my alcoholism, which prevented me from apologizing for my part in our separation. I committed to making amends during our upcoming meeting. The day to visit Martha and Alma's countryside home arrived swiftly. The journey, a mix of express and local trains, transitioned the scenery from urban to serene countryside landscapes. It was hard to believe that Martha, once a career-driven individual, had adapted to life assisting with farming activities. Upon arriving at the traditional house set amidst fields, I was informed by Alma that Martha would be home later that evening, leaving us time to await her return. Without the usual urban amenities like coffee shops or cafes to pass the time, Alma and I waited, surrounded by the vastness of fields, mountains, and prairies. Then, in a moment reminiscent of the past, Alma invited me to lie down beside her on a patch of grass, a gesture she hadn't made in 6 years. Lying next to her, I was greeted with her broad smile, basking in the sun's warmth, a sensation I had dearly missed. This moment of happiness made me yearn for more days like this with Alma. As we relaxed, time seemed to accelerate until I heard a voice call out, "Patrick." I looked up to see Martha, clad in work clothes, marking our first encounter in 6 years. I had never seen her like this before, makeup-free with suntanned skin. Though she used to dress more elaborately, she appeared healthier and more beautiful now. When Martha arrived, Alma went inside, seemingly to give us some time alone. "Why are you here?" she asked. Alma wanted to meet, so she came over, I replied, omitting the part about Martha's desire to apologize and instead shared about Alma's visit with Ben. "Is that so?" She wanted to see her father after all. "But were you surprised that we live in the countryside?" she inquired. "Honestly, I never imagined you living in the countryside or being involved in farming," I confessed. At my words, Martha smiled for the first time that day. "Me neither, but I got tired of the daily grind at the office. I just wanted to see some greenery." "It's amazing that you've taken up farming as a job," I remarked. "Not really. I had zero knowledge at first, and it's only recently that I've been able to manage my own field. I still cover living expenses by helping Ben and other farmers," she explained, revealing the challenges she faced overseas. "I'm sorry for dumping all the parenting on you when work got tough. Are the child support payments enough? Should I increase them?" I offered, but she declined, mentioning her plan to add it to Alma's future education fund. "Are you still with the same company?" Martha inquired, recalling my struggles at work and my envy that led to alcoholism. "Yes, I am. I tried to throw myself into work after the divorce, but I'm still just a regular employee," I admitted. Martha expressed her newfound understanding and apology for not being there for me, acknowledging the desire to escape when work becomes unbearable. Shaking my head, I explained, "It's not about the work being tough. Comparing myself to someone as capable as you made me feel miserable. I admired you for being so cool and hardworking. I wish I could have been honest about how I felt, but my petty pride got in the way." Martha listened intently, expressing regret for not being more supportive and understanding during our marriage. "No, it was my fault for neglecting our family and turning to alcohol. It wasn't your fault at all. I've always wanted to apologize," I concluded, acknowledging my shortcomings and expressing a long-held desire for reconciliation. "I'm truly sorry for everything," I expressed after sharing our feelings. Together with Alma, we enjoyed a dinner featuring vegetables from Martha's garden. Despite the challenges of countryside living, Martha seemed to find joy even in the hardships, smiling as she shared her struggles with us. She had no regrets about leaving her corporate job, remarking, "I clung to my job so much, but once I let go, it turned out not to be such a big deal after all." My response, "That sounds nice," prompted Alma to suggest, "Dad, why don't you come live here too?" Martha and I exchanged embarrassed glances and could only laugh. After reuniting with Alma and Martha, I began visiting their home on weekends. However, one day, I received a call from Ben, the farmer Martha was assisting, informing me that Martha had been injured during a burglary. Thankfully, the injury was just a fracture from being pushed. Neighbors had quickly intervened, and the burglar was apprehended. Martha felt guilty when she realized I had left work early to rush to her side. "Sorry, it's not a big deal," she said. "No way, being attacked and fracturing a bone is serious enough," I insisted. I took paid leave to help with chores and care for Alma while Martha recovered. Despite the unfortunate circumstances, the time spent together was enjoyable. I even attempted farming in Martha's stead, which proved much harder than anticipated. Martha and Alma's laughter at my soreness only made these moments more special. When it was time for me to leave, Alma was in tears, pleading, "Dad, please don't go." To her tearful plea, I responded, "We'll be together starting next month." "What? Why are you coming to stay again?" she asked, puzzled. Smiling, I revealed, "Actually, I've been thinking of living with Mom and you again. Is that okay?" Alma's tears turned to joy as she exclaimed, "Really?" and was overjoyed. In fact, Martha and I had started dating again a little while ago and made plans to live together once more. I had informed my company of my resignation in 2 months, prompted by concern for the safety of 2 women living alone after the burglary incident. I requested to advance my resignation date, intending to return to the company only for the purpose of handing over my duties. My plan is to begin a new chapter of life with Martha and Alma starting next month. Additionally, I've been exploring income opportunities by visiting agricultural cooperatives and engaging with other farmers on weekends. Although we initially intended to surprise Alma, her emotional reaction prompted us to share our plans earlier. Despite the loss of the element of surprise, Alma's happiness made it all worthwhile. 6 months later, Martha and I tied the knot again, and now we're living together as a family. Our current income doesn't match what I earned in the corporate world, and we lack the convenience of a nearby store. While some might view this as a drawback, we relish the simplicity of our lifestyle and the mental space it affords us. The most cherished moments are those spent enjoying meals together, sharing our daily experiences. Martha and I frequently discuss our relationship, acknowledging each other's flaws and committing to addressing any issues together. In the realm of farming, I consider Martha more experienced and strive to learn as much as I can from her. The feelings of inadequacy and the constraints of petty pride are now far behind us. Our family's bonds, once thought to be irreparably damaged, have been restored. With this second chance, I am more committed than ever to valuing and cherishing my family.